Resource isn't a thing we do, but it's a thing that runs the business. Mr. Manu, Human Resource Director at Volvo Group India Private Limited, provides absolutely the same service. A strong business acumen with enriched experience of over 18 years in the field of strategic human resource professional, having played multiple roles in HR with multinationals such as Capgemini, Oracle, Wipro, Ericsson in the past. His areas of expertise range from organizational development, cultural transformation, to employee engagement and recruiting. Sir, once again, thank you for accepting our invitation, and it's truly an honor to have you.
Then the survey was did with quite a lot of people across the globe. The three main points what it came was that one, they told that we don't want ratings, because if you look at it traditionally, that one, the traditional performance management system, if you look at it, they talk about you set the goals in the starting of the year, and in the mid of the year you review that one, how you're performing, and check whether it are aligned or not, and then in the end of the year you get a rating how you did it. That's what the traditional system of doing that performance management today. And then you get a rating whether you exceeded the goals what you have been given, or you are fully met whatever you're given, or you are doing what you're supposed to do it, or somebody will be at a okay mostly met the performance targets, somebody will be did not meet expectation, or somebody in different companies have different rating scales like that, maybe 1 to 5 rating scale, or a high exceptional to a low, different parameters or terminologies, what phrases, what we use it, but the same way is that you set this and call them you're a you are a what a low performer, or you are a high performer. That's what we used to call them. But then now employees are telling them, no, you remove the rating system. What does it make for us? We don't like the rating system in the organization. It is not giving any value for us. Okay, that's what the one of the biggest or a highlighted point which came in the survey. Then the other thing what they told, so if you wanted to work, because if you look at today, the world is more working in a collective intelligence. If you look at it, it is not that we have moved that stage of that I do it like that one. It's all that we collaborate and work together. The industry is moving towards partnerships and collaboration. What you are not able to do alone today, you can collaborate with somebody else and can do much better, right? So we always see that one, right, in all the motivational speakers and everybody talk, right? So 1 plus 1 is not 2, it's much more than that, except the mathematicians, they tell it is 2 only. But all these encouraging motivational speakers tell, because that is telling that when you collaborate, the output will be much higher. That's what it depicts, right? So similarly, that when today they're telling that when instead of you setting in individual goals, why don't we set a team goals, right? We work as a team, because it's a collective intelligence make a lot of difference. So they're telling that for more better collaborations, have team goals than individual goals. And they also come up, nevertheless, we all work for what? Money. So they're telling them give high perks for high performers. Differentiate them in paying performance, not by standardizing with everybody. Like, so how are we evolving according to the changes in the industry? That was one question which has been asked at different levels and different management teams, right? So that decided also that how flexible we are as an organization to take or adapt to these changes. What are the potential what we have inside the organization where we can take more time or more efforts to improve those areas like that one, or what is that we have to spend. So there was a lot of questions asked, but I think it was a very thought-provoking questions which has been asked in the leadership forum. Then we also looked at from a people perspective. What does the people need? Are we creating an agile environment for them, a continuous learning? Is it a very dynamic environment where they will be working? Or are we open for initiatives? That's another thing, right? Are we allow a culture to fail? If you wanted to come up with new products, if you wanted to build an innovative culture in your organization, you always need to encourage or to give the confidence that one the right to fail, right? Otherwise, people never come out taking a risk to do anything new, because they're always scared. If I fail, I'll be out. So why should? But we should encourage people to coming forward and tell that when it's a right to fail for you, you try. That creates more of innovation. That creates more of improvements. Your own ways of working will change. You bring in new ideas and build a completely a high performing organization. So doing this rating system, and then we improved a lot of engagement. And we mentioned that, well, no, it is not a tool what we have been creating for you today. Like, for example, that you trust and take that feedback when you're close to people, and that trusted person is giving you feedback on something, then you really take it for a value, right? You consider to take that feedback and work on it. So that same thing we wanted to bring in an organization to have a continuous learning, and how do you help to each other to grow, that which I talked about, like, you collaborate, you partner with people to build much more value to the system. So that is something which we wanted to emphasize, a willingness to grow and support each other to grow together. So that was another key pillar we had brought in when we implemented this change. The same thing was we want to give, and also was very clear that one, even if we created a very flexible system, but we were very clear that one, we need to set a clear direction. Our people should know what is the direction towards, what are we aiming towards, that one. Set a very clear direction to everybody, then people can contribute towards that direction. Then you give the empowerment for them to do how they can reach that, how they can contribute, give the flexibility for them. But see, that's what I always say, that if you empower people, we talk about a lot about empowerment in the organizations, empowering managers, empowering employees. But if you don't set a direction, and you just give only empowerment, it will be very clueless for people. It will be quite a lot of heavy in the organization. Set a clear directions where we as an organization moving. We were very clear that we need to set a clear direction. Our people should know what is the direction towards, what are we aiming towards, that one. Set a very clear direction to everybody, then people can contribute towards that direction. Then you give the empowerment for them to do how they can reach that, how they can priorities. Setting priorities means nothing else like that, we're not setting goals. And there was a major change in this area, because every year we used to set a goal for the entire year and we start working towards that one. Here, what we told you, will set a maybe a larger goal for a longer period, but you will have a short-term priorities. That what are you going to do in the next 1 month or 3 months or next 2 weeks? You have short-term priorities. You work towards one, you close that one, move forward, because things will be changing on a periodic basis. So it doesn't make sense we are keeping a longer objectives for us. But you will have a large vision or a mission that you have it for your team, but the priorities for each of you and the teams will be short term as well, to achieve professionally. And how do you develop personally, this was another thing. And you have a developmental touch point meetings again, that where do you want it to go, what did you do today, what is your objective, and what are you doing towards that to reach that objective. You're setting a goal or a priority itself will not help, right? So you also need to set up what are you doing today to reach there, and what you did and what you failed, and what you want to do differently. So this is the conversations which is primarily talking on that area as well. Put one slide here to help you. So how do you develop this one? You primarily create this by collaborating. You work, because the world, as I told, that we have to come out from that one, that the concept of I, me, myself, like that one, right? How do we work with as we? How many times you talk, when you talk, how many times when you write a mail, we tell that when we, and as a team, that one. So that is something which you need to collaborate and for success, and you need to practice the same thing. Do try multiple times. Practice will make you best, perfect in the areas what you do it.
Okay. Yeah. So good evening, sir. I'm Vineet Kaur from second year MBA HR specialization. So my question is, like, I've seen like how you have transitioned your performance management system. So my question is, what kind of reaction did you get from your employees while they have seen this kind of transition? Like, was it a positive, negative, or neutral kind of, like, from employees' part of view, sir?
Very good question, Gaur, because we had the same thing when we are rolling out. What will be employees' reactions towards it, right? During these discussions, what we were also emphasized that one to ensure that to get the message for all employees, telling that well, no, you recognize as an individual your achievements. Another point which is coming that well, no, you are in charge of your own goals, or you set your priorities in discussion or in dialogue with your managers and your team. So you are getting more empowered there, and you are. It's not only empowering to set your targets, but you also empowered, and your career is in your hands. So you need to drive. You are in the driver's seat. So that was also getting emphasized during this rollout or during this transition phase. And then we encouraged a lot people to come up with lot of innovative practices, innovation clubs, innovation jams, and we did lot of hackathons and everything to come and just try out. And that will also give more and more strength for them to come and try and take risk. And then that leads, maybe it could be success, it could be failure, but we wanted to emphasize that to them as well.
Good evening, sir. I'm Manishi Divya, an HR student from second year. And
Right.
my question is related to growth and fixed mindset. So
Okay.
it might be possible that in our organization we have people who have a fixed mindset. So as HR employees, as HR managers, what should be our role to help them out, come out of that zone and develop a growth mindset, and sort of develop agility so that they can embrace changes in the coming future.
Very good question. So I would say that in that situation, you will play a major role as a line manager there also for them, or an HR manager. You'll only be coaching those people, right? You will not give any solutions for that one. You can ask them a lot of leading questions to them, to ask them, how do you come out of this situation, or what do you think is it the best thing what you can do it, right? Or did you try other measures? Why don't you? So you will always try asking a lot of open and coaching questions to these people for them to think. So then they will only find, because it's a change which has to happen internally, right? An individual has to change the shift, because if you look at it, a person can have both a fixed mindset and as a growth mindset. You will not see a person always on growth mindset, right? No, but it can happen both the ways. But it's important to create that nature that we need to look at it things, and every challenge when we face, how do you see it as an opportunity out of it? What can we do differently? So that type of a mindset to cultivate within everybody, so that you need to be a very good coach for them. That's what I would suggest.
Right. Thank you, sir.
And thank you, Mr. Manu. I think if I have to use only one sentence for what you have, made a difference is you have given a clear message that growth is life, life is growth. Unless you have mindset for it, it's not going to happen. It cannot be AI driven. You have to drive the AI. Thank you so much. It was really well taken, and in fact very eloquently communicated. We thank you once again on behalf of entire Symbinar family for being part of this, and we look forward to more engagement in future.